What's good? What's good? What's good? Waiting for people to join the chat. What's good? What's going on? What is going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. Everything's good wherever you are, guys. Let's just sort this out and then we'll get the live stream started. Get your questions in, guys. Get your questions in. All right, okay, so let's do this. What's going on? Salute, Brendan. What's going on, Brendan? I hope you're good. Guys, smash the like button. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button. What's going on, peeps? What's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Let's get into this. Let's get into this big stuff. Smash the like button, guys. I really appreciate if you smash the like button. Let's get this. What's up, bro? Great channel. Thank you, Beat Spice Surge. I really appreciate it. Let me get the link in there. Smash the like button, guys, though. Smash the like button. I really appreciate it. Let me get this in the chat so you guys can. Oh no, let's see if you can get in the chat. If anyone wants to come on, you're more than welcome to come on, guys. Good channel. Robert Morales says, good channel. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. So Brendan Jackson gets into it. He goes, watching Canelo watching Canelo piece up Caleb had me hooked at work yesterday. Canelo is going to have Caleb missing plenty of jabs and making him pay most of the times that he misses. Yeah, that was serious, man. That was serious. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It's like, you know what? When I saw I was on Twitter and people were like, oh, it's kicking off. And I quickly went on and saw that bit and I was like, whoa. I actually saw the head-to-head live because it was on Fight Hype. I actually watched that. I actually saw that live. Guys, everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd really appreciate it, guys. Smash the like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, so that was crazy, man. That was crazy. Brendan says, I said geeked, not hooked. I couldn't shut up or sit still at all. Yeah, that was crazy. You know, that had like me I had butterflies in my stomach, almost as if it was a big fight. You know, that was crazy, man. That was crazy. I wasn't expecting Canelo to push him, you know. Caleb's definitely riled Canelo a little bit. You know, he definitely got to him. I think it wasn't just the fact there. I don't think it was the things that were said there face to face. I think it was more what he had said prior. I think he had said a lot of things, he had said a lot of things before the press conference, which Canelo had obviously seen, and Canelo was not happy, so Canelo made him known. Guys, everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, guys, I'd really appreciate it. Smash the like button, guys. It really helps the stream. So it says, Robert Morales says, let's be real. Did Plant have this coming to him? Yeah, he did. He was saying a lot of stuff, and Canelo, he wasn't having it. Canelo let go, man. Canelo let his hands go. Canelo got hit as well. Not hit, but like slapped, like slapped. He got a few fingers on his face. That could have been dangerous because Caleb's got a cut, and I wouldn't be surprised. You may have postponed the fight a couple of weeks. Who knows? Because that was quite. It looked quite a deep cut. But although they said that it's not going to cause any problem in preparation, I'm not so sure because that cut did look quite deep, man. It looked quite deep. That's not a good sign for Caleb Plant because I don't think it was probably his sunglasses which cut him. Migo, what's going on, Migo?
Hey, what's going on, Imran? How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Just fine, thank you. I'm calling from California, as you know. Nice and sunny over here.
Yeah, nice it's sunny here as well. Sunny here as well, man. In the UK, it's good here as well, man. Miguel, what did you make of it, man? It was crazy press conference yesterday. Crazy.
I still say Canelo is just another level, okay? I don't care what the hater says. I don't care what anybody says. Canelo is Canelo. He's not going to put up with no bullshit, okay? Excuse for my language. But that plan is just talking too much shit that doesn't even... I mean, why is he bringing this uh, testing positive for whatever he did, over 2 years ago. Why is he bringing that shit up? There's no reason for that. There's not. I mean, you can tell Caleb Plant he's scared. Honestly, I mean, when he took a swing at Canelo, did you see the reflexes on Canelo?
Yeah, I did, man. I did. That was
Okay,
impressive.
and what everybody says, oh, Caleb Plant is too fast for Canelo. Blah blah blah. Well, that tells you. I hope they ever saw that. Canelo doesn't put up. He's fast. Canelo is fast. Believe me. He has a good head movement. He knows how to throw things. And good thing that Canelo did not use his fist.
Yeah.
Did you see that? You see that
Yeah,
one? He throw the right and then the left. I mean left and
he
right.
slapped him. Yeah, he slapped him.
Exactly. Imagine if he could have been with his fist. Then I guarantee you that fight will be canceled. It will cut him hurt. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with each other. Let's be honest with this. Canelo just another level, and Canelo never respected this guy. He never did. He never talked bad about him. And who started the whole talking shit? Plant. Am I right?
Yeah.
And I hope in November 6th he can back it up, which I doubt it. Now he felt the power of Canelo even with a slap in his face. All right. Okay. And Canelo just this guy, I mean, he's 31 years old. He's in his prime. And I don't think nobody can beat him at 168. Not even Benavidez. I don't know what you're talking about Benavidez, okay? Right now it's Canelo and Caleb Plant. And everybody's going to bring up the testing positive 2 years ago that he's a cheater. Well, he's the most tested fighter there is right now. Okay? Because he fights, what, 3-4 times a year? Don't you think he gets tested? Don't you think I mean, they could have found something negative?
What, Miguel, no. David Fulton's asking in sidebar. He said that, Caleb Plant said mother thing to him. But Canelo said that to Andrade as well. Caleb didn't really say anything about his mom. He didn't really, how like,
No, hold on. Let me explain that something to you. In the Latin culture, Mexican culture, when you say MF, that means you're fucking your mother. Okay? And
is it?
That's a no-no. That is a no-no. You're insulting your mom. Okay? In Mexican culture.
Right.
And every mother is sacred. And I know in America it means differently. Okay? But when you're talking to Latin countries, South America, North America, whatever, in Mexico, you do not bring anybody's mama into this shit. And that's what Canelo got offended. Okay? And that's the bottom line. Okay? And he's not going to take that.
But Canelo loves saying that word himself. Canelo loves saying that word himself. I found it funny because he loves saying that word.
Well, he said it to what's his name, Boo Boo,
Andre,
right? Andre, well, whatever, Boo Boo, who, whatever it is, Andre. He said it to him. Yes. I tell you, I'm not going to say it. Okay. Period. Okay. But the mentality of America, or here in North America, which is the United States, is different when you call somebody a motherfucker. Okay. So, but when somebody like Caleb Plant, that he's been talking a lot of crap about Canelo, and then he says that in front of him, well, hello, he's no longer, he's not no longer, he's not going to no longer, he's just going to go at him. Okay, because I think Canelo's already pissed. Yes.
Miguel, I think it was the stuff that, I don't think it was so much what happened at the press conference. I think it was the stuff that Plant said before. Canelo was already really angry with him.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah. He was already,
and that's what brought everything on. And I think that's when when he called him a motherfucker, that's when He went up. He could not take it anymore on that point. Okay, like he said, you can say anything to me, but don't you talk about my mama. Period.
Yeah.
You know. But
What do you think? Do you think this is going to affect Plant though? Because he had a cut under his eye, man. He had a quite a deep cut. It was quite a
no,
thick cut.
well, it was. I believe they say it wasn't that deep. It was more like a scratch. He was not bleeding like profusely. Yeah, he bled, but not as much. But he got control over it. But that little cut is not going to affect the fight. But
I agree with you.
yeah, but the thing is, Canelo, he's just going. I mean, as soon as he gets into the ring, they're going to be all by themselves. All right, and then Caleb Plant, he's going to see the real Canelo in the ring. To be honest.
Canelo said, "I'm going to knock him out in 8 rounds." Do you think he's going to knock him out in 8 rounds?
I believe, I don't think it's going to pass the 10th round. To be honest with you. Okay.
You don't think?
No, I think it's gonna. I believe Canelo is gonna stop him. I don't think it's gonna. They're gonna stop the fight. I don't think it's gonna. Land it. I don't think it's gonna land on the. In face down or face up. I think it's gonna. The referee is gonna stop the fight. Okay. You're probably gonna have him against the ropes and all that. It's gonna just beat him up, and and the referee is gonna intervene to stop him. Bottom line. But I don't think he will knock him out. The chances are there, honestly. But if Caleb Plant is gonna mount on his bicycle and start running around the ring, then of course, Canelo's not. He's just gonna cut off the ring regardless.
Canelo said he's gonna run. So do you think Canelo's preparing somebody that's gonna box and move?
Canelo has seen, Canelo, he has seen everything. Yeah. From all the way from Whitaker, all the way down to Lara, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. He has seen everything. He knows what to do. He knows, Plant's skills is not going to scare him. And Canelo has better skills than Caleb Plant. Okay. And I've seen the way Caleb Plant trains. And I'm telling you, he leaves his body wide open. And also he leaves his chin wide open. As you can see during the press conference, what happened there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be the same style of fight. He's never going to change the style of fight. No matter if I brought Andrew Ward in his camp. He's always going to have his style. And that style, it's going to get him hurt. Okay.
But do you think he could frustrate Canelo, like fight on the back foot?
No.
Hit a few punches, run away. Hit a few punches, run away.
No, Canelo, he's seen that before. He's a very patient fighter and a smart fighter. Okay, he's gonna slow him down, just like he did with Billy Joe.
Yeah.
And Billy Joe, left himself wide open too to body shots.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yes, right.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the key, Miguel. I think if Plant can avoid the body shots, then he may be more competitive in the fight. I think if Canelo starts, how he did with, in the first round when he fought Billy Joe, I knew the fight weren't going to last long or go late because Canelo was landing big body shots on Billy Joe from round 1. If you go watch that fight, he was hitting Billy Joe to the body hard early on in that fight. And if Canelo does the same with Plant, he's gonna slow down. He's gonna get tired.
Yeah, and also Plant saying that he's gonna knock out Canelo out.
Yeah.
Well,
he said
to fight him.
He said if Miguel Cotto's brother can wobble you, right, then I can definitely make you do the chicken dance. That's what he said.
Oh, please. But you cannot compare the power of Miguel Cotto's brother compared to Caleb Plant. Right? Caleb, what do you call it? What do you think they call him? Straight hands.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. Even when you see him training with a heavy bag, does he throw any hard punches into it? No. Exactly. You know, if you see Canelo side to side punching the big bag right there, you know, you can see the difference on the punching power. You know, you know Canelo. I mean, Canelo is going to put everything, all his might in there. His whole body is going to go right through.
Yeah, I'd agree, man. I'd agree.
Yeah.
I want to get Ahmed in there, man. Ahmed, did you see that crazy press conference yesterday?
I've seen the highlights of it, the main bits.
What did you make of it?
It was awesome, and it was awesome. Entertaining.
What did you make of it, EK? EK, you there? Ahmed. So what do you think, man? Have you changed your opinion about the fight? Have you changed your opinion about after seeing what you saw yesterday? Do you think Canelo's rattled? Do you think he's plan is going to Canelo's head? What do you think, Ahmed?
He's definitely going to his head, but I don't think it's going to change the outcome of the fight.
So what are you saying then? Canelo knockout?
I'd say Canelo late stoppage, yeah.
The other thing, EK, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
EK?
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you, man?
Hear me? I'm here.
EK, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. Caleb Plant suffered a cut under his eye, right? Do you think that's going to affect his preparation, his sparring, his preparation for the fight? What do you think?
Of course, I think, you know, even if if he gets punched in there, it could like bruise or cut up, or like, you know, the surface of the headgear can
cut his skin,
move the skin, right? Or like it could impact the skin. Yeah, or just like make it worse or something. Of course, that can, you know, if you talk like you know, like words have like sometimes they like you can't just say everything and then expect nothing to happen to you. So yeah, 100%. He's like you know, I knew like, and to be honest, in the next in the future press conferences or weigh-ins, they shouldn't really be allowed to do face-offs because like it's stupid. Really, they're just gonna like. Could you imagine?
They're not going to.
There was no
they're not going to anymore. Right. They're not going to anymore. They're not going to do no more face-offs. Yes.
Miguel, there was no security there. There was just them two in the middle of the stage.
That is right. That's right. And they I believe they screwed up on that in that part of the press conference. There should have been somebody in between them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But someone there on the side.
To be honest, that press conference was so small. There was like 20 people there. It was like all the
apparently they're not gonna hit him in the face anymore. You know, I'm pretty sure they can be light punches, but not to that side of the face. Not to that side. Is it the right face? Is it on the right side? No, not to that side. You know, but you know, it's just gonna be a very light sparring. But that cut that he suffered, it wasn't deep. It just like somebody scratched it with a nail. That's what it was. You know, so that will be it will be fine within 2 weeks. You know, that cut is just gonna slowly it's gonna close down. So no, it's not big. It's not big. It's not big for that. You know, it's gonna go on. The fight is gonna go on. I don't think it will. And after that, he can do the sparring. You know. But that was just a superficial cut.
Yeah. And I don't think you guys noticed that Canelo threw his glasses and slipped and countered at the same time. Canelo's like, his reflexes are so good. I know people are saying Caleb connected, but he grazed his fingers across his face. It's not, and then like Canelo threw his glasses at the same time. It was like crazy. Like, behind him, it was like so many things happening.
Yeah, just imagine if it had a glove on, that will be a hell of a mess, right?
So I think it was crazy.
So, guys, Canelo is now. He said that to Plant. I want to get your opinion. He said, "I'm going to knock you out with 8 rounds." Is Canelo going into this fight angry? Is he going into this fight enraged? Do you think that's going to bring the best out of Canelo, or do you think Canelo might be a little wild?
I'll go, I guess. Yeah, I'll go. I think Canelo was angry when he fought Lara. He was angry when he fought like Billy Joe. You know, even when he's fighting Daniel Jacobs in the weigh-in, he got into a scuffle. So it's not like he's not used to, like, he's still gonna follow his game plan. We all know Canelo's gonna give him a like abortion on the stomach. Like, he's gonna go for the body shots. He's gonna punch him in the arms. He's like, but he's not like one of those like amateur fighters where he's gonna get like totally thrown off his game plan or totally like, you know. So I think even if he is going angry, which obviously he is, because he's making fun of his trainer, he's bringing his like mother into it, I guess. Like, he's bringing his whole clan. Yeah, so like obviously he's gonna go in there enraged, like any sensible human should. And I think he will like stop him because Caleb's not on that level.
Canelo said to him, "You're not on that level."
Yes. Which is true.
But one thing with Caleb though is that he's gonna bring his all. It's not gonna be like Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith.
Billy Joe brought his all. Billy Joe brought his all.
It's gonna be, no, but Billy Joe he did, but Caleb's bringing a little bit of a flavor, different flavor, and he's got Canelo hyped up as well, raged, and I think Canelo might do something off his usual game plan as well. Possibly change it up.
I think Caleb, right? He's definitely gonna bring his A game. I think he's gonna give Canelo a good fight. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I think he's gonna get stopped, but I think he'll give Canelo some problems maybe early on in that fight, first couple of rounds. You know, boxing and moving. I think, and then after that, I think Canelo probably take over. But my man Christian's in the house. BJS did not bring the D dog to the fight. What do you think, Miguel? A Christian saying BJS did not bring the dog to the fight. He said BJS showed up for the check.
Hell no.
He said BJS didn't bring the fight. BJS showed up for the check. He didn't bring the dog to the fight. You know, he didn't bring a good fight. Caleb Plant's gonna bring.
No. You know what? As soon as they start feeling their game plan changes, okay, and that's the way it happened to Billy Joe. Think about it.
Yeah,
I mean, think about it. Caleb Plant already had a taste of what Canelo can do in the person. He knows that. Okay. Imagine, like I said, he only used his open hand. Imagine if he could have used his fist right there. You know, so he knows what kind of reflexes Canelo has and how fast Canelo is in counter punch. Okay.
Yeah, that was good inside. But the thing is, Miguel, that was a close counter. If Caleb Plant's gonna try to keep the fight long, because if Caleb Plant fights close on the inside with Canelo, he's in big trouble. He's in big. You know, if he fights on the inside, if he keeps the fight up close, Canelo's going to destroy him. He needs to keep the fight long, Miguel.
His jab needs to be really good.
Exactly. His jab needs to be good. He needs to keep the fight long. What do you think, EK? That Caleb Plant needs to keep the fight long?
Yeah, but like Canelo is going to walk him down. You don't think in the whole 12 rounds Caleb's not going to be, his back's not going to be touching the rope, or he's not going to be in the corner? I think Caleb, like, if everything goes like perfectly for him, like he needs to, of course, like fight on the outside. But like Canelo's going to always like walk him down and pressure him, just like he does with everyone. It's not like I don't think Caleb's ever felt this pressure of like a moment, the actual fight, the fans, the history behind this fight, the actual fighter he's facing. He's never faced this caliber. it's just too much going on, and like I feel like Canelo's pressure is gonna like he's gonna walk. Canelo is gonna get in there. He's gonna get body shots. He's gonna like there's no way in the 12 rounds Caleb's unless like I think like after like Canelo walks him down once or twice, Caleb's gonna be like really using his feet a lot, and he's gonna get tired. He's gonna be like he's not gonna be exchanging with Canelo. He's gonna be trying to every moment he gets. He's gonna be trying to go from the circle on the outside of Canelo, like use his feet. But like Canelo, like I'm sure Canelo has like sparring partners that like are gonna mimic Caleb's style like throughout. Because like,
Christian says BJS fought timid from round 1, scared. Do you agree?
No, I think it's Canelo is doing that to people. It's not like he didn't go in there. Billy Joe didn't go in there. Or today I'm gonna fight scared, or I'm gonna fight not to my best abilities. Canelo does that. Like good fighters do that to you. It's not like he didn't choose to do like he's not like he wasn't in a locker room. He's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Like no. And like people are gonna have the same excuses for Caleb if he doesn't really do like what people think he's gonna do, and then people he sold the fight. Oh, like he didn't do. Why did he do this? Why did he do that? It's because it's Canelo. Like this, when you fight. When you go to the finals of any tournament, like UEFA League, Champions League, or like the NBA Finals, like sometimes the moment gets to you. It's like, but you go there trying to do your best. Caleb's gonna try to do his best, but like.
Yeah. So carry on, EK. Let's go through these questions.
So I'm just gonna go through one last point. Like, Caleb's gonna obviously come there with his A game, but his A game and Canelo's A game is like a huge levels. There's like, if they both show up with their A game, there's only Canelo's gonna like still win.
Yeah, I agree. I'd have to agree. Yeah, Best Knob Alive says Plant fully extended to slap Canelo. I don't think he can fight much further, to be honest. He fully extended to fight. So what he's saying is he can't even fight on the outside. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think he can. I think he's longer, taller. He definitely can fight on the outside, in my opinion. Marky Dan comes in with a comment with a super chat. Thanks for the super chat, bro. I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna give this to you, I'm gonna ask you this, Ahmed. Canelo hit that boy with a 2-piece and biscuit. With them reflexes, plus Mexican beef, plus herbal tea, man, I got Canelo in 10 rounds. Marky Dan. He's cracking me up. Marky Dan. What do you think, man? What do you think? What do you make about Caleb calling him a cheater, Ahmed?
Caleb, well, he's got a little bit of a point. He's got a point, hasn't he? If you got caught, you got caught. And as far as the comment goes, a really good comment. The reflexes, reflexes are looking good, and he's just begun camp. So just imagine how good the reflexes will be once the camp's over.
Yeah. I have to give it to Marky Dan. That was a brilliant comment. He goes, Canelo hit that boy with a 2-piece and a biscuit with them reflexes plus Mexican beef plus herbal tea. Man, I got Canelo.
Can I get a medium Coke, please? Yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Yo, EK's having some lunch, man. EK's having some food.
Coke,
bro. I'm just getting a drink. Sorry, I thought I put it on mute, bro. My bad. I'm out.
No worries,
I'm out on the road right now. I gotta eat.
No worries, bro. No worries. All right. Eric Tellez says, no, he hasn't. All of his fights have been orthodox. Who are we talking about here? Burning Desire. My man Burning Desire is in the house. He said, will Plant be scared of the fight? Now he'll still go for the payday. What do you guys think? Do you think Plant will fight scared? Or do you think he'll fight a brave fight, Ahmed?
He'll fight a brave fight, but his IQ is not at the level of Canelo's, and he'll get broken down. He'll fight with his heart, but he's just not going to be good enough on the night.
Miguel, I know you're back. I want to read this comment to you. I want to read this comment to you, man. Marky Dan says Canelo hit that boy with a 2-piece and a biscuit. when them reflexes plus Mexican beef plus herbal tea, man, I got Canelo knocking Caleb out in 10 rounds. What do you make of that comment?
Here we go again, right? Bringing that crap again, right? Oh my God.
What do you think?
I don't know.
What do you make of Oscar Valdez, Miguel? I don't know whether I got your opinion. What did you make Oscar Valdez, who's in the camp, fail the test?
Honestly, it should have been suspended. Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm triple with you guys. He should have been suspended. He should never gone through that fight. All right. And his excuse, he doesn't even. What was his excuse? Oh, I didn't know how to cut into my body. Please.
Can I get some
napkins,
please?
Just like asking a drug addict. Okay, are you high?
Thank you.
No, I'm not high. Right? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know how the heroin got into my body. Well, come on. Don't be stupid. But I believe he should have got suspended. They should have stripped his title. They should have done everything like with any other fighter. Okay, that's the bottom line. Okay, but when you bring Canelo on that stuff, Canelo is the most tested fighter there is right now. Okay, I don't know why they bring that shit up. Okay, and the tainted meat that he ate, it was minuscule. The trace was so minuscule that it was. I mean, it wasn't even not even for a fly to be, to have an enhancements. Okay, it was so minuscule. Yeah, it got suspended for 6 months, but he took it. Hey, it is what it is. He didn't bitch about it.
Campos, I'm gonna come to you, my friend. Christian says BJS didn't shoot the jab to interrupt Canelo as he creeped forward. He was scared. He didn't trust his reflexes to make Canelo miss off the jab. Come on, fellas. So, what do you make of the press conference? What did you make of the press conference yesterday? Do you think Caleb got into Canelo's head?
No.
My opinion
Canelo got into his head.
Go on, Campos.
Go ahead.
No, honestly, look, I don't like that. What happened there, I'm not a fan of that. I don't support it, and it was wrong on both sides. One thing, Plant brought up some good points, but it was unnecessary to bring it up there at that there on the podium. If Plant was truly altruistic and how everyone's trying to make him like the savior of corruption, then Plant shouldn't be fighting Canelo to begin with. So there's all kinds of wrong with what happened yesterday. I want to see a fight, and to me, it's just a circus. It's good for the PBC because this is getting people to watch the fight. PBC's going broke. I don't know if you guys know this or if you guys accept it. The PBC is going to lose what? Didn't they just lose Fox or about to lose Fox? So they need this. And this is working out for them, whether it was fake or whether it's staged. I honestly don't know, but one thing I'll tell you, I don't like it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, man, I'm up there. I'm kind of agreeing with Campos, man. Caleb suffered a nasty kind of a cut, which some people say is not a bad cut, Campos, but that's going to affect preparation. That's going to affect, that's going to definitely affect sparring and preparing for the fight, because, a cut's a cut at the end of the day. And I know obviously, even if it's a small cut, they can, it'll heal. But the fact of the point is that when your skin cuts and you've got a cut, that cut can open up, especially when you're fighting, that cut can open up easier. So, if you're drawing blood in a fight, you're going to weaken.
I absolutely agree. Plant is known for having foreskin as facial skin. The guy breaks and rips easy. He's another Linares.
Yeah. I saw that. I don't know what fight it was. He was really badly. Yeah, this guy cuts, and that was, to be honest, I was quite surprised he got cut there. Your skin can cut, but they didn't seem like there was a lot in it there. They didn't. I don't know. Maybe it was his glasses. I don't know whether his glasses broke and that cut his skin. I don't know, because he had his glasses on after that, and his glasses looked fine. So I don't think his glasses. I don't know what cut him, to be honest. I don't know.
Well,
it was bizarre.
I believe that was the rim of his glass.
The rim of the glasses. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. But still,
also
Miguel,
too, I did.
Sorry, go on, Campos. Go on, Campos.
I tried looking up pictures of the actual damage, but with Photoshop and memes that people do now, it was very difficult for me to assess the damage under his eye. And you're right, a cut will affect your performance, and cuts are known to reopen. That's why it takes so long for them to heal. And again, Plant cuts easy. The dude has foreskin on his face.
I've seen that. That's why I asked you that. Plant cuts very easy, and it's even if the cuts, because the thing, Campos, the cut's not in his eye. It's not above his eye, so it's not going to go into his eye. It's not going to blur his vision. However, getting cut, you're drawing blood, right? So that weakens you. When you're drawing blood, that's going to weaken you, right? So this is, for me, it's not good, man. The fact that there was no security there and there was two fighters in the center on the stage with no one around them. How irresponsible is that? When you know things have been said, you know it's almost they were staging for this to happen, you know. And look at that, these plants got cut. I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting anyone to get cut, you know. That's not good, man. There should have been some security there. Or there should have been a promoter there that could have broke it up if it kicked off.
That is true. I agree with you. By the same token, Caleb Plant should never thrown that punch, because you know, as a boxer reaction, you're gonna throw a punch too. Period.
Yeah.
You know, it should have been more intelligent and not to try to hit Canelo with that punch.
Actually, you know?
Campos, your things down. Campos,
can you hear me?
Talking like nonsense all the time.
Campos, can hear you. Come on, Campos.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, what provoked Plant from swinging? Canelo pushing. Canelo shouldn't have pushed him. Doesn't matter. That should provoke it.
Okay, Plant called his trainer, which is a father figure to him, a fat bitch. Like, obviously, if someone calls my father or my mother and he's talking about his mother or something, then obviously, what do you expect people to do? Like,
but wasn't Canelo? Sorry to speak over you, but wasn't Canelo using that against Andrade? Canelo's used that word before himself, so that's a double standard, bro, and I don't buy it. Okay,
no.
I want to see.
That was after. That was after, bro. That was after. Canelo, EK. That was after.
Look.
Go on, Miguel. Miguel?
Yes.
Go on, Miguel. What were you going to say? I can't hear you, Miguel. You're cutting off. So Campos.
Yes.
So I agree with you. That EK, you know, Canelo said that. Canelo said that when Caleb Plant said that about his trainer, that was after Canelo pushed him and the slap and all of that. That was after. That wasn't before.
Okay. So actually, I didn't see the whole press conference start to finish. I just saw highlights of it, so I'm not sure what the order is.
You know, the punch and the slap and stuff that happened right at the start. So
I see.
Afterwards, that's when Caleb attacked his trainer.
No, okay, but I heard Canelo say he said something about his mother while they were facing off.
No. He basically called him an MF.
No, okay, yeah, but I thought he said something else while they were facing off. You
know,
no,
he didn't. He
didn't.
He didn't.
Canelo.
No, he didn't. Canelo called he called him an MF, and Canelo thought he was talking about his mother, but Canelo's also used that to Andrade. You know, correct. Canelo said the same word to Andrade, so I don't really like I agree with Campos that you can't really buy that. You can't have double standards. You you can't expect to say something to somebody, but then not expect them to say something back to you, and then you get angry about it. It's like,
So my understanding was that while they were facing off, you know, when they were like talking to each other and no one else could hear, like he said something about his mother or something, and then I was thinking the face off was at the end, not at the beginning. So I thought like when he was calling his trainer like a fat bitch or something and all that. So I thought that like I was like, why would you let them face off after that?
Yeah.
So I was like confused.
No, that was the first thing.
In the beginning. Okay, I see.
That was the first thing.
Yeah,
Campos.
I got you.
Yeah.
Campos, I want to ask you a question. Eddie Hearn said Canelo got set up there. He said Canelo was set up by the PBC. He goes, the way they were questioning Canelo, the way everything, Brian Custer was reading the tweets of Caleb Plant's Twitter, it felt like Canelo was set up there. What do you think? Was Canelo set up?
You know what? That's hard for me to answer because Canelo made it easy. He did test dirty for PEDs. He did.
Yeah.
And so did Valdez.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes it easy. Like, so whether he was set up, it also put pressure on Plant because Plant had to respond to that, and Plant did. There were good points brought up, but it shouldn't have been done there. And again, if Plant was altruistic and truly trying to fight corruption, he wouldn't be fighting Canelo. Now, has Canelo tested dirty since? That's the question.
No.
Okay. Now, I know I'm going off topic here, but I firmly believe Canelo took clenbuterol and he needed it to make 160. Canelo no longer needs clenbuterol because he's fighting at 168 and possibly again at 175. So that's a good point. But one of the things that happens is that everyone's focusing on Canelo, but we have another cash cow that got busted taking PEDs, and that's Floyd Mayweather. He got busted taking PEDs through IV, and he was absolutely unpunished about it, and he was allowed to fight. So it's the double standard that I don't understand.
But didn't Canelo's hair sample come out negative in that whole scene? So he got busted for the first time, and then didn't the second test didn't he come out negative, and that's why it was 6 months.
He got he had A and B test positive for clenbuterol, and then later he had a hair follicle test. I'm gonna tell you, I am American of Mexican heritage. I'm very familiar with the meat industry in Mexico, and I'm gonna tell you, you have to eat massive amounts of meat. I'm talking massive. I'm talking like bodybuilders that take steroids that are on 15,000 calorie diets. Even them, they wouldn't test positive for clenbuterol from meat. I'm telling you guys. So that's why I firmly believe Canelo was dirty. Now, do I believe Canelo is dirty now? Well, VADA's doing their job. They busted Valdez, but they haven't busted Canelo. So, according to VADA, Canelo must be clean, just as Plant, just as other fighters who have tested dirty in the past.
Campos, Ray made a good point that Floyd Mayweather never ever tested, for PEDs. There's no evidence of that.
Floyd was taking IVs. Look at the IVs. Why was he taking IVs? Was it purely for hydration? If you look into it, Floyd's records are sealed. Floyd never took VADA. Floyd always took USADA. Floyd ducked VADA like he ducked elite fighters. That's Floyd right there. And it's known that USADA was in Floyd's back pocket. It's all out there. There's literature on it. You just need to look it up. I was surprised when it happened because I was a big supporter of Floyd and De La Hoya, because De La Hoya never tested positive. And for the longest time, I can't assert for the ending of his career, but for most of De La Hoya's career, he would train with natural athletes, not just natural, known Olympian athletes, but natural bodybuilders. And those things like that are what gained my support. So when Floyd tested for PEDs, you don't just put hydration, you don't just put Sweato or electrolytes through the IV, you put PEDs through it. And one thing, look at Floyd early in here and look at Floyd towards the end of his career. It's the same questions that people made Manny Pacquiao. How can you put on so much muscle mass at that age? How can you do it? So there's questions that will arise, but Floyd did get busted.
Thing is, let's move away from this the heads and stuff. Let's talk about the actual the beef and the fight yesterday. I mean the press conference yesterday. There was few things said.
Nice pun.
Yeah, the fight.
Let's talk about the
fight. I mean, let's talk about what things were said. Like, let's talk about Canelo saying he knocked out. He's gonna knock out Caleb Plant in 8 rounds. Campos, do you think Canelo will?
I have no idea because it's difficult to make predictions like that. Now, I have stated for the longest time, and I differ with you. I believe Canelo will fold Plant sooner than he'll fold Saunders, because even though Saunders, his accolades came at a division at a division before 168, Saunders was a much better fighter than Plant because Saunders fought on different platforms for different fighters under other promotional companies. Plant is what you call a paper boxing champion, PBC. He became a champion under the PBC system of protection. Look it up. Plant's best fight is Usyk. Who did Usyk ever fight, and what has Usyk done since? And I have no Plant. I give him no chance. But upsets happen when the favorite isn't training. Upsets happen most of the time when the isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing. And most of it, it's like Canelo's on point.
Yeah. So what are you saying then? Do you think Plant's gonna knock? You think Canelo's gonna knock him out within a couple of rounds then?
No, I don't. I don't know. Okay. I believe he's gonna end the fight sooner than how he ended Saunders. Now, Saunders was a TKO. It's not a knockout. On paper, it may be the same, but it's not. So maybe Plant will quit, or maybe Plant will take TKO. I don't know if Canelo will knock him out. Plant can move. That's one thing that he has. He's a very, very defensive fighter, more defensive than Saunders. But who has Plant fought? I can look good fighting cherry picks. I can look good fighting subpar fighters, and that's all Plant has fought.
Yeah, his resume is not stellar, but as you know, thing Christian saying in the comments, our good friend Christian saying, here we go again. BJS is better because of resume. Absurd. So do you think so? What makes you think BJS is better than Caleb Plant? Do you think BJS is better than Caleb Plant, Campos?
Saunders fought on multiple forms. Saunders fought fighters from different regions. Okay? Plant has never done that. Plant has been 99.9% out. There, look at Wilder. more than half of career are cruiserweights with lopsided records. Look at Plant's record. I'll put money on it. If Christian, and I'm not calling out Christian, but I'll put money on it. That's how firmly I believe that Canelo will fold Plant before Saunders, because Plant is exactly what the acronym states. PBC, Paper Boxing Champion. That's what Plant is.
Wow. So Christian says if BJS fought Caleb, he'll lose.
Styles
maybe now
fights.
since Billy Joe is like broken, his face is broken. Yeah, maybe now, but before, I still think Billy Joe has more skills.
Look, Plant never tried to unify. Plant had opportunities to fight Smith. Plant had opportunities to unify. He didn't unify with Benavidez, who's on his platform. So what does that say about Plant? Plant hit the lottery. He hit the lottery because he's a paper boxing champ and he's going to get 10 million. Can we all be so lucky?
You don't think he deserves that payday?
Doesn't matter anymore. He got it. He's not a $10 million fighter. He's a $1 million fighter. So he's paid above his grade. Good for him. I want to see the fight. I don't expect to. I don't see that lasting longer than Saunders. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll eat crow. But the guy's a paper champion. I just see him getting hurt.
Do me a favor. Campos, can you do me a favor? Can you log back on? Because I think there's some trouble with your internet. Go back off and come back on. All right, EK, you're still in that. Guys, if any of you want to come on. I'm struggling to get Miguel and the internet's bad. The internet's bit flaky. EK, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. Okay. EK, there's some background noise in your back. I don't know what it is.
So it's the wipers. It's raining here, so I'm just driving.
All right.
But
Okay.
I'm parked, so it's okay. I'll just stop it.
All right. Okay. No worries. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. Okay. Sleeper says Sean, only reason Plant getting fight is because Canelo wants the belt. Plant never tried for undisputed fight. Okay. Art's in the house. What's going on, Art?
How's it going, fellas?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing well. Calling from Arizona.
Yeah, man. Good having you in the chat, man. Good having you in the chat.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoy your show, man. Very good show, non-biased, and what's up to everybody?
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. What did you make of the press conference yesterday, man? That was wild, man.
You know what? Respect to both guys. You know what? I respect Canelo for initiating and selling his fight. Caleb, respect to him. He's got all the confidence, and that's what we should all want. We want him to be fired up. We want him to come in, believing, bringing that into the ring. It is what it is at this point. But it was exciting.
What did you make of the the push, the shove, the punch, the slap, the cut? What do you make of all of that?
You know what? To be honest with you, I've been watching boxing for a long time, and I'm kind of leaning towards it probably was staged, only for the fact there was no security, nobody around, and they allowed all that time for Caleb to stroll and cruise his way right back to Canelo, which to me was a little suspicious. But, it was a good show. And, my only issue with Caleb is, I'm not a fan of the trash talk. The calling Canelo, a fat B and to suck my. Like, I'm not a fan of that, but I mean, I'm excited for the fight.
Yeah, yeah. Mike, my good friend Mike's in the house as well. Mike, I want to get your opinion, man, on the wild press conference, man. The push, the shove, the cut, the back and forth. What did you make of all of that, man? Mike?
Hey, what's up? What's up? All Sorry, good, man. I kind of heard you a little bit late.
Oh, so I wanted to ask you, what did you make of the press conference, the wild press conference, the push, the shove, the cut, the slap, the back and forth talk? What did you make of all of that yesterday?
And that was great, man. I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, man. I was kind of surprising a little bit, but that's a Canelo I like to see, man. I like to see the pissed off Canelo, because he's most of the time he's a respectful guy, and he's always he respects his opponents and all that. But when you can get under his skin and you could get him pissed off, and obviously this whole the whole cheating stuff gets under his skin, because we know the whole story behind it. So he's offended by that shit. So it happened with Golovkin. The same thing happened with Golovkin when they were calling him a cheater and all that. He got upset. So I feel like that's the best Canelo in my opinion, man. So that was great. And as far as like just what happened in that moment, I mean, it was hilarious. It was hilarious to see that. How he kind of like dodged the punch and they kind of went at it for a little bit. I was just kind of worried because they kind of the reports were that he had a bigger gash. So it was kind of like, I was thinking like, oh my God, is this gonna, cancel the fight? Are they gonna cancel the fight? But after I kind of saw pictures, it wasn't really that big of a deal. So we should be good.
But the thing is though, Mike, is it going to affect his preparation, the sparring and all of that stuff?
I'm not sure, man. I mean, that's a good question. I was thinking about that as well, but I mean, you could always wear something there, some kind of padding or you could always try to cover it up so that just to protect the cut, let the cut heal. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, man. But who knows? I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they say. I guess we'll find out in the next couple of weeks or in the next week, because Caleb Plant, he's the type of dude that he'll come up with, he'll make any excuse. So you never know. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and he says, hey, you know what? I'm going to have to postpone the fight because the cut didn't heal. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, you know what? I'm getting those bad vibes as well that this fight might get postponed a couple of weeks, Because remember, a cut's a cut, right? And if you can't prepare 1 or 2 weeks and you're going into an undisputed fight, the biggest fight of your life, you're not going to want to go in, underprepared. You're going to want to be prepared. And I won't be surprised if it gets like postponed for a couple of weeks. But then you got to realize a fight of that magnitude, how they're going to book they're going to book people have booked like hotels and stuff like that. So all of that stuff, I don't know. It's not that easy to just postpone it for 2 weeks. There's a lot they've got to consider,
Yeah, it's a big deal, man. But I don't know. I mean, based on what I saw, it just didn't look like it was that big of a cut. It looked kind of like I don't want to say a scratch, but it wasn't a thick or deep opening. It kind of did look somewhat of a scratch.
It was two cuts, Mike.
Right, it was two cuts, right? But they look like the type that could heal like in a week. So, but again, I'm not sure. Like he's gonna have to cover it up. He's gonna have to seal it, and then I could see that cut healing in for sure. A week and a half, no big deal. But I don't know. We'll see.
Fight night. Will it open up on fight
night? I don't think so, man. I don't think so because fight night we're talking about what
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, this guy would have to have some type of, physical health issue where, he just doesn't heal properly or something like that. The cut would have to be a big cut, like the type of cuts that need stitches or the type of cuts that are really, really, really deep or even has to be closer to the fight for us to think that, you know, it might open up during the fight. I don't think so. I don't see that happening.
Ash, I want to bring you in, man. Ash, what did you make of the yesterday press conference? It was wild. It was back and forth. What did you make of it?
I've got not much to add to that. Everyone's really added what I was going to say anyway, but
just give your take.
Oh, flipping hell. It was unexpected, isn't it? He just all of a sudden pushes to punches.
Yeah.
But in that little snippet, you saw what Canelo can do. And this is a little touch. He cut him already. So Canelo, he got under his skin, didn't he? Saying he's
you know when Canelo pushed him, when Canelo pushed Plant, do you think Plant's ego was hurt and he thought, I have to come back and I have to do something?
To be honest with you, when he pushed him, he ran out of the shot. You couldn't even see him.
Yeah, he did. He went flying, innit?
Yeah, and when he come back, he was taller. He looked like if he didn't do the push, you'd think, oh, you know, Plant's the bigger guy. But when he pushed him, he just went flying, and then he came back, and then he got in his face, and we can all, you know, can imagine what he's saying. You're a cheater and this, whatever. And obviously, he's saying something about his mom. He's saying something about his mom. He's saying something about that. And I don't know. I don't think this fight needed really building up, because people are going to watch Canelo anyway, whoever he fights. So he doesn't. This is why Canelo, up until now, doesn't really shout and swear and, you know, whatever, because he doesn't need to. Like, only in the last few fights is Andrade and Billy Joe, and you see him swear or not. But it's a different side to him. But yeah, it makes it for an interesting fight. But after seeing that, to be honest with you, man, if he threw a left hook here and he ducked him and touched him with the left, with his left hook himself, and I don't see Caleb Plant doing anything, you know. But let's see. But I just see Canelo is just gonna take his belt, and now he's woken up the beast the way Canelo said to him, "I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna break you in this fight." So Canelo is coming with everything this fight. So let's see.
I was going to ask you guys, but do you guys think that Caleb Plant, you know, his the criticism or like his the arguments that he's bringing up, do they make any sense to you guys? Like, I don't know where, like, to me, just Plant, you know, he's coming off as like a little bit silly, like goofy, like childish almost, you know, bringing up old stuff like the clenbuterol stuff. Like, I don't understand that.
I agree with you.
He was basically.
No, he had a point where, you know, if you're. Yeah. But
I agree on that. You know, he's bringing up old things. He's speaking like a teenager.
Go on, Art. What were you saying? You're speaking like a teenager. Who, Plant?
Yeah, sorry, I was cutting out there. Yeah, you know, I agree. He's speaking a little silly. You know, he seems like he's speaking out of fear. I seen an interview with Canelo, and he spoke of this. He said he's seen fear in his eyes, the body language, seems very insecure, and the only thing he can keep referring to is Canelo testing dirty ones. So I agree. He really doesn't know what to do at this point.
Canelo looks angry, man. Canelo says he's going to knock him out within 8 rounds. Mike, do you think Plant could cause Canelo issues, man, with, you know, get back on that back foot of his, get behind the jab, use his feet, box and move, and try to outbox Canelo, be smart in the ring? What do you think?
Just to keep it as simple as possible, man, best case scenario for me is him having a performance similar to like a Daniel Jacobs.
Right.
That's as close as I can see him getting the fight. So whether Canelo knocks him out within 8 rounds, I don't know. You know, can he do it? Yes, but you know, is it possible that Plant could go on survival mode and last for 12 rounds? Yes, he could do that too. I don't see why not. But in terms of just overall his chances of winning the fight, he might make it competitive, you know, like I said, like a Daniel Jacobs fight. But I don't know how you guys scored it, but I scored it like I think it was like 116, 112 around there. I could see an 8-4 type of fight, maybe max a 7-5. I doubt it. That type of fight, that's the best case scenario, in my opinion, for Caleb Plant. So do I see him winning? No, I don't see him winning. I don't see him doing much more than that.
Caleb Plant said that he's been an underdog his whole life. Caleb Plant said that I've been an underdog. People have doubted me. They said that, Jose Usyk was going to dog walk me, but he got dog walked. And now they're saying Canelo's going to do the same. And he goes, I'll do exactly what I did to Jose Usyk to Canelo Alvarez. Can you see a possibility? He also said if Miguel Cotto's brother can make Canelo do the chicken dance, you're telling me I can't make him do the chicken dance. What do you guys make of his comments?
I mean, he's a lot of athletes, a lot of boxers can say that. I mean, a lot of boxers have that story, I mean, Canelo Alvarez came from nothing himself. I mean, he was poor. He was selling popsicles in his town and shit. You know what I mean? So, he was bullied when he was a kid. I mean, so a lot of fighters have that story, where they came from nothing and they, people didn't believe in them. I mean, what's the percentage? What are the odds that people become professionals just in any sport? The odds are really, really, really low. You're talking about less than 5%, right? So if you look at it from that perspective, then yeah, I mean, every athlete that becomes a professional, you could say the odds were against them, and they probably, along the way, probably, they had people telling them like, you're not going to do it or something like that. So, I mean, I think Caleb Plant is going to, whatever motivates him, he's going to use that to his advantage, which is fair game. So, that's the way I look at it. But at the end of the day, when he steps into the ring, that's when it's going to get real. So, we'll see what happens once he steps into the ring.
Canelo said that you're not on my level, and I'm going to show you, Ash. He said, Canelo said to him, you're not on my level, and I'm going to show you November 6th why you're not on my level.
Yeah, because we've been watching boxing. I've watched some of Caleb Plant, but it's not a really interesting division, really, to me. You know what I mean? But put that to the side. Canelo is angry now. He's a beast. He's a great fighter. He's gonna come in there and he's looking to hurt Canelo. He's looking to knock him out, especially after what he's done and his antics at the press conference. He thinks he's gonna get under Canelo's skin. It's not happening. Canelo now, yeah, maybe he's got under the skin slightly. Nothing that's gonna take him off his game plan. I think it's gonna make him work harder, and it's gonna be a long night for Caleb Plant. I think now, after especially what he's done. I'm surprised if Canelo wanted the way he went on, he could have said, because he wants that belt so bad. Otherwise, I don't think he would have got the fight now. And I think Caleb Plant knows that. This is why he was saying all these things. I think if he came across a different way in the press conference and maybe insinuated it more than shouting and saying you're a cheater and stuff like that, and maybe insinuated it a bit more in his questions and in his answers, and maybe said it not as blatantly as like that, and it would have been better for him. But because the way he's gone on and the way he's proclaimed the way he's himself in the press conference, he better be good now, because I think Canelo's coming with everything now.
Guys, Rich Mendez, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. He basically has made a great point. Rich says Caleb is not very bright. He speaks like he had a hard road to where he is and knows his worth. His worth is the belt, not him. Miguel.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with that? Do you agree with Rich?
That he said, can you repeat that again?
Yeah. He says Caleb is not very bright. He speaks like he had a hard road to where he is. I know and knows his worth. His worth is the belt, not him. So basically, he's saying his worth is the belt. He's not worth the worth.
Please. Then why in the hell did he took $10 million? Right? If he's really doing it for glory, why in the hell he asked for $10 million? Because that was going to be his biggest payday ever.
Yeah.
He had a hard road. Where do you think Canelo didn't have a hard road when he grew up? You know, I mean, being on welfare in this country, you're rich compared to down in Mexico. In Mexico, they don't give you shit. Okay, bottom line. Okay, you have to fight for everything in Mexico. All right, you have to go out there and beg on the streets in order to get some money.
Yeah.
Okay, so he cannot compare, you know, the struggles that Caleb has as a child compared to Canelo as a child. It's two different worlds. Okay.
Yeah, it's a different world. Yeah.
And about the belt, you know, when the hell did he ask for $10 million? If you really want to go for glory, then he should say, you know, hey, I'm happy with $5 million or whatever, right? I mean, you know, to be honest with you, he's not worth $10 million.
Yeah.
What was the biggest purse that he got? $750,000.
Canelo at Prime De La Hoya? Are you fucking kidding me? Come on.
Hello?
Guys, what's that background noise?
Can you hear me? Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Some background noise.
Okay.
But yeah, basically he's saying that he's worth the, you know, the basically the belt is the reason why he's getting that money, not him.
Oh, please. You know, Canelo could have skipped him and let Caleb fight Benavides or somebody else, right? And how much money will have gotten or getting paid for that fight? 1 million, 1.5 million, right? And Canelo could have waited for whoever beats Caleb, and then he could offer the other guy $10 million. And you know, just, you know, that's a bunch of nonsense. You know, he's going for the money. Bottom line. Okay. Compared to Canelo, he came back, you know, and negotiated again, and there he is. You know, fighting to be the first Mexican undefeated. You know, has 4 world titles in history, and it's going to be one of the greatest in the world too. Okay.
Mike,
assuming Caleb Plant is being real, he's saying the right things, right? He's saying what he's supposed to say. He needs to go in there with that mentality. The problem is that all of that can change once you're inside the ring.
Inside the ring, correct.
So Plant is doing the right things in terms of him, you know, thinking that he's super valuable and that he's gone through this and that, and you know, he needs to find ways to motivate himself. And like I said, that's fair game. That's fair game. You know, I'm not gonna hate on Plant for that, though. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. But once he steps into the ring, bro, like, and you start getting hit and you start to struggle and going through, you know, the actual fight, you know, that's when you're really gonna have to show it, you know, and that's when your confidence either increases or decreases. So, you know, we're not gonna know until he kind of steps into the ring. Shit, he might even feel it even before he gets in the ring, just the magnitude of the fight. This is a guy who's never been in a fight of this magnitude, you know. So some guys can handle it, some guys can't handle it. You know, I felt like to use an example, I think like Callum Smith, in my opinion, I think that affected him a lot. I think Billy Joe Saunders handled it a lot better. Maybe Plant is kind of like Billy Joe Saunders, where he doesn't let something like that affect him that much. And if it doesn't, then he'll probably have a better performance. But if he can't handle the pressure, if he can't handle, you know, everything that comes before the fight, he's not gonna be able to handle Canelo inside the ring.
But do you think Rich makes a great point, though, Mike, where Rich says Caleb is not very bright. He speaks like he's had a hard road. He knows his worth. His worth is the belt, not him. So basically, I think he's getting the 10 million because of the belt. He obviously is, right? He obviously is, because undisputed fights. Canelo wants to be undisputed, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all know this, right? I mean, we all know this, that it's the belt. If he did not have the belt, he'd be irrelevant right now. Canelo wouldn't even be looking at him. He's part of the undisputed journey, right? So so he's just the next guy up. You know, whoever had the belt, that was gonna be the next guy. So he's right. Rich is right, 100%. I mean, his worth is really the belt. But Caleb Plant has to think beyond that. You know, he can't think that it's just a belt. Caleb Plant has to think beyond that, and he has to feel that it's not the belt. It's you know, it's him as well.
Yeah, fair enough, man. So I want to ask you guys. Canelo, if Canelo wins against Caleb Plant, what do you guys want to see him do next?
Go up at 175.
Go up at 175.
Yeah, get those belts.
Fair enough. Mike?
I don't know. It depends. I feel like there's a lot of options there. I wouldn't mind seeing that, or I wouldn't mind seeing him defend the belts versus a guy like Benavidez, or versus a guy like, or even Charlo. If Charlo wants to go up, any of those guys. Like to me, it's not about who's. I'm not like desperate to see a fight next. I'm just more thinking about him fighting all the names that are around there. So whoever's next, I'm good with it. Whether it's Benavidez, whoever the fans want to see, right? So whether it's Benavidez, whether it's Charlo, whether it's if they want to make the Bibble fight, you know, or the Better Be a fight, any of those fights, if he chooses any of those opponents, I'm good with that.
Guys, I want to switch topics a little bit. We know that on Saturday night there's a big fight, a unified heavyweight championship of the world. Anthony Joshua takes on Alexander Usyk. Ash, I'm gonna come to you first, man. That's a great fight. It's a great fight. How do you see that one playing out? How do you see that fight playing out?
Tough one. It's a tough one, but
Tough one.
I don't know. Go two ways. I think one way, AJ, he's coming looking in slim, so I think he maybe want to box for 6 and then try to take him out after 6. You understand? Or Usyk's gonna box him. It's very intriguing, that fight is. If you had a gun next to my head right now, if you said to me who's gonna win, I'd just edge it to AJ. But like I said, if he boxes, then he's gonna have to box. He's not gonna win on points. I think he has to knock him out after 6. But Usyk looks quite big though. If you've seen him in the media workout, he looks pumped up, isn't he? He has a tough one, but AJ,
go on.
Give it to him. No,
give it to AJ. Yeah. Mike, I wanna ask you, man. There's a lot of people that seem to think that Usyk's gonna win. There's a lot of people that seem to think that Usyk's gonna beat Anthony Joshua. I've done a poll myself, and there's a lot of people picking Usyk to win this fight. Why do you think that is? There's also a lot of people on the other side that think that Joshua's too big and Usyk has no chance. Where do you stand with this fight?
I think I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Joshua. This matchup kind of reminds me of the topics that we've had in the past of Canelo moving up to 175. It makes it's very hard for me to gauge because Usyk hasn't been at heavyweight long enough.
Yeah.
So I think he's had one fight, maybe 2 fights, and it's not against any of the top guys. So a lot of people are going based on what Usyk has done at cruiserweight, right? So they're trying to take that and assume, right, and gauge based off of that he's going to do that to Joshua. But the heavyweight division is another world. So it's kind of similar to the conversations we've had about Canelo going up to 175. You know, it's a tough one to call, man. And you know, I'm going to give Joshua the benefit of the doubt. I can see Usyk outboxing him for a couple rounds here, but to me, the what I want to see is what's going to happen when Joshua lands clean on Usyk.
Yes.
I think that's gonna tell us, you know, that's gonna give us the answer that we've been looking for, right? So depending on how he reacts to that, I think that's going to make Joshua adjust, and he might even change his approach once he lands, and we might even see a more aggressive Joshua. Who knows? He might try to go for the kill, you know. But until we see that, we're gonna have a better idea. But as of right now, I mean, the only way I see Usyk winning is if he outboxes Joshua. But he's gonna have to have a masterclass performance, in my opinion. You know, I'm not sure. I think the size difference is gonna be huge. I mean, the weight alone might be like what, 20, 25 pounds, 20, maybe 30-pound difference. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. But Mike, there's Peter Fury, who's Tyson Fury's uncle, who used to train Tyson Fury, and he said that Alexander Usyk can hurt Anthony Joshua. He said all this nonsense about Anthony Usyk not being a big enough puncher and not being able to hurt him. He goes, we've seen Joshua hurt before. We've seen Joshua wobbled. His stamina late on in fights not great. We've seen him down. We've seen him down a lot of times. We've seen him wobbled in fights a lot of times. And he goes that Usyk definitely has the power to hurt Anthony Joshua. Maybe not knock him cold, but hurt him and stagger him. And not just that, the fact that Usyk can be on, you know, mentally wear AJ down as well. Because if the fight's not happening at AJ's pace, we know that AJ has stamina issues. We've seen that. Don't you think that could be an issue for him in the fight? And what do you make of Peter Fury saying that Usyk definitely has the power to hurt Joshua?
Well, he might know something we don't, more than we know. You know, if he does, then of course that's possible because of what you said. Right? I mean, we've seen Joshua with some stamina issues. I felt like his stamina looked better once he lost some of that weight. Once he started to look a little bit leaner, I felt like he looked way better against a Reese. But remember, he has been hurt, but against heavyweights. Heavyweights have hurt him. So it goes back to what I just said earlier, right? I don't know. Like, it's hard for me. I feel like I'm just guessing, right? If Usyk goes up there and he acclimates well to the weight class and he's able to kind of handle the size difference, then yes, I'm gonna put Usyk in the same boat as everybody else. Meaning that yes, if you have a good enough punch, then you could definitely hurt AJ. There's no question about it, of course. So but if that's the case, then all of a sudden the overall perspective of the fight changes as well. Because if we're gonna assume that, then the fight might be closer to a 50-50 fight. Because that's a game changer there. That's a game changer. Because that's the majority of the people who think Joshua's going to win is because they feel he's too big, too strong, too powerful. So if you're telling me that Usyk can match that, then it's a completely different fight.
I'd agree. I don't know. It's intriguing, man. I think you're right. It's kind of one of them fights where you just can't really call it because Usyk might be so special, right? We kind of know how good Anthony Joshua is at heavyweight. We've seen his weaknesses, we've seen his vulnerabilities, and we kind of know that Usyk, from a skill point of view, is better than Joshua. Like, he's a better boxer than Joshua. However, you may be a better boxer than somebody, but the size and strength and power and the power when you're moving up weight is coming into play as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just to add to that, two things. Anthony Joshua's a gold medalist at the Olympics as well. And secondly, it's about fighting at that weight for 12 rounds. It's not the same as fighting at 100, whatever it was, 190, whatever, for 12 rounds. You got to carry that weight for 12 rounds. So if he wants to put that weight on, fair enough. But let's see if he can go 12 rounds fighting at Anthony Joshua's pace and that jab. And we'll see. Obviously, I fancy Anthony Joshua to beat him because he's got the boxing skills as well. But it's just that he didn't really use them in a long time. He's just been knocking everyone out. And people think he's not a big puncher. But after Deontay Wilder, who's the biggest puncher? So,
as Mike said, Ash, if Usyk's able to hurt Joshua, then the whole fight changes on its head.
In the heavyweight game, a good punch at the right spot you can knock anyone out. Look,
Yeah,
Andy Ruiz.
No, but a lot of people don't think they can. A lot of people don't think Usyk can hurt Joshua.
Nah, he can. Of course, he can. But maybe he can buzz him or something. I'm not saying he's gonna put him on his back, but he's gonna have respectable power, isn't he?
Yeah.
So but like I said, you can say all that he's a cruiserweight and all that, but like I said, it all comes back down to whatever he weighs in the night, he has to fight 12 rounds and with that weight and see if he can. Then if he wins, then it's fair enough to him, and then you can say he is that good, because fighting at a weight just for a few rounds or coming and knocking someone out. This is why Anthony Joshua got found out later on against Ruiz, because when he got hit, he was so big that he couldn't keep up, you could see the punches coming, but he couldn't just stay on his feet because of his stamina, because of his weight issues. But now that he's kind of looked at that and he's slimmed down and he knows that he needs to fight for 12 rounds, it could be a different fight. You can see a better AJ than you saw in the Ruiz and the last fight he had.
I think that's what AJ's gonna do, man. He's gonna take a conservative approach. I think AJ's probably asking the same questions that we're asking, because I'm not sure, he's gonna have to go in there and fill him out. He's gonna fill out Usyk. He's probably gonna go in there and start kind of like boxing. And then depending on what Usyk does, depending on how he feels him out, when he starts landing punches and how Usyk reacts, then that's where I think Josh is going to start making the adjustments, maybe be more aggressive and probably start going for the kill later on in the fight, But that's probably the smartest approach, because if you, like I said, if Usyk, you don't want Usyk to surprise you, you don't want to go through the same thing that happened with Andy Ruiz, right? Andy Ruiz really caught Joshua by surprise in a lot of ways. He kind of underestimated him. So, you want to test this guy out for at least half the fight, and then just kind of start making adjustments as the rounds go on, and keep him on the outside maybe, and then start becoming more aggressive. And then sooner or later, he's going to land something big. I mean, it's going to happen. And then, once, depending on how Usyk reacts, then, he'll have a chance to maybe finish it off. I mean, these are heavyweights. It only takes one punch.
So Dundada says, Imran, ask these guys on the panel who's going to win. No beating around the bush. Break down why. Well, who's going to win? So, Mike, who's going to win, man? Who's going to win? I know you can't say sure.
No, yeah. I mean, I said I called it pretty much even at the start. I'm going to give Joshua the benefit of the doubt here. I'm going to go it. Like, if I had to bet, I'm going to put it on Joshua, because if Usyk wins, it's a massive upset. So just the magnitude, the task, I go based on that. I try to simplify things, like who has a harder task based on what we know. To me, it feels like Usyk does. Right? He's the one that's moving up. He's the one that, if he's going to win more, the chances are that if he wins, he's going to have to outbox Joshua. I don't know if he has enough to knock him out. So he's going to have a masterclass performance. Joshua doesn't necessarily have to do that. He doesn't have to have a masterclass boxing performance. He could knock him out in any round potentially, because Joshua can knock any heavyweight out in any round. He has that type of power. So, considering all these factors and just the odds of it all, I'm going to go with Joshua.
Ash?
I was thinking, obviously, you got to look at both sides of the coin in a way. Obviously, Usyk, if he comes in there, a lot of activity, a lot of punches, fast, and puts it on AJ, and could be a different story as well. So you got to remember, Usyk's not a guy that's just coming up. He's a unified champion coming up, and yeah, he maybe not be, because he come up to heavyweight. Maybe it's different. I don't know in previous years if I don't know if Evander Holyfield came up and went straight for the champion or something, because normally you come up and then you fight a couple of guys just to get accumulated at the weight, and then you fight the champion, which he's just done. He's fought Chisora and Bellew. You can't really call them fights, but just to see how he was with the weight and whatnot. Anyway, so you got to give him a chance in there, So it's a tough one. I know I said to you earlier, AJ, because I told you because of his size, and if he can box for the first 6 and then put it on him, then maybe he can stop him because he's the bigger guy. He's got power. But like you said, like I just said to you just before, if Usyk comes in there and starts coming on quick and, you know, high pace fight, and, you know, he's got a decent pop, and you don't know, AJ could get stopped. You know what I mean? So,
so
it's a tough one.
Ash, if you had to put a prediction on it, what you say, knockout points, how you seeing it?
I think AJ wins by knockout here. Late though. If you was gonna say, I can't see Usyk knocking him out, but you know, you never know. Boxing is boxing. You get surprised, don't you? But if you just, like you just said, if I had to put money on it, I think I'll go with AJ, because I know he can box for the first. He can box with him. It's not like he can't box. You know what I mean? Obviously, he didn't look the best against Ruiz, and he didn't look like, you know, he looked a bit timid and he was a bit so. But he's had a couple of fights now. He's got his confidence back. So just gotta wait and see. Saturday night's not far away now.
Yeah, it's not. Ahmed, I want to bring you into the chat. Joshua Usyk, man, break it down for me.
I think early couple of rounds, I think Usyk will be a bit tricky for Joshua. But I think as the rounds go on, I think somewhere along the line, I think Joshua's going to get to him in the middle rounds. And I think he will stop Usyk. I think, yeah.
You think he's gonna stop?
I think he should be able to stop him. Yeah. I'm actually gonna put some money on that, on him stopping him. Yeah, even money.
Yeah.
One round on it, late.
Pardon? No, just for him to get stopped, just to stop him. Even money.
Okay. I don't know about the stoppage though. Usyk's. I think Mike's right though. It's gonna come down to how much he can take at that weight. Can he take if he's got a good chin and he absorbs those punches, man? Because let's not forget Andy Ruiz. I know he got dropped in the first fight, but he sucked up a lot of punches from Joshua. So I don't know, Mike. I don't know. Is Usyk gonna have the chin? I don't know.
I mean, how many guys have the chin at heavyweight? How many guys do you think at heavyweight, forget Usyk, right now at heavyweight, how many guys do you think would not get knocked out by Joshua or could not get knocked out by Joshua?
I think probably Ruiz, probably Parker. Maybe he's got a good
Ruiz got sat on his ass for the first time.
Yeah.
By Joshua.
Yeah, he did.
So even he got dropped pretty bad.
Yeah.
Ruiz has got an amazing chin though.
Yeah, he took a hit right after that too, which was surprising. Yeah. A big hit right after that, and he took it
straight right in.
But I think Ruiz has got a really solid chin, very solid.
You know why, man? Because when he got up, he wasn't hurt. He was okay.
He wasn't.
And he's took punches from other guys, and they've not dropped him. So AJ's got power. It's just that Ruiz has got such a good chin as well, where he got dropped because the power was there, but he was got a really good chin.
Do you think Ruiz's speed is overrated? Not Ruiz. No. Usyk, sorry.
Nah, Usyk's got speed, man. He's got very good feet as well. He's got fast feet, fast feet.
He's gonna need them, man. He's gonna need everything, really.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna have to be very nimble on his feet. He's gonna have to be fast. He's gonna have to be cat-like in there, and he can't afford. You know, the thing is with Usyk, he gets hit a lot as well, so he can't afford to get hit in this fight. He has to be very, very sharp. He has to be very, very nimble. He can't afford to get hit at all. To be honest with you, a flush too many times. Yeah, of course, it's shot here and there, yeah, but not too many times. He can't be catching too many flush shots, Mike.
Definitely.
Yeah, he can't. And the whole Andy Ruiz thing to me is a kind of a little bit inconclusive anyway, because the moment Joshua dropped him, from that moment on, everything went downhill for Joshua. He was the one that was getting hammered. So we didn't really get to see what could have happened later on in the fight if Ruiz continued to get nailed with big shots. You know, so all in all, I mean, I think Joshua has the type of power to knock him out, man. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So what are the odds that Usyk has this iron chin, man. I mean, you know, because that's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need top tier type of chin. And not a lot of guys in boxing have that. So again,
you're gonna need a Muhammad Ali type chin.
Yeah, you're gonna need some George Foreman type of chin.
Yeah.
James Toney had a good chin.
He did.
James Toney had a good chin.
Yeah, James Toney had a good chin. Some Triple G type of chin, man.
Yeah,
but as a heavyweight,
man. Yo, Canelo, who's got the best chin, man? Canelo's got to be up there, man.
No,
pound for pound, Canelo for sure. Pound for pound, Canelo has one of the best chins for sure. But Triple G's a zombie, man.
You know what?
James Toney went to heavyweight though, innit?
You know what? I think he's got a good chin, guys. But he's a lighter guy, Danny Garcia.
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough.
Got a great chin, man. I've never seen him rocked or down or anything in a fight.
Danny Garcia's he's a tough dude. He's strong too, man. Like he doesn't look, you know, even though he's a small guy, he's a strong guy. He's really strong.
Nails, man. He's tough.
Yeah, but guys, James Toney had over 90 fights and he was never stopped by anyone. Going from middleweight to heavyweight.
Yeah, James Toney for sure. He had a great chin, even though he's
slurring
right now.
He had a tougher chin than Golovkin, I'd say. Proven wise.
I don't know, man. Triple G, man, has to have one of the. I think Triple G has to be one of the strongest guys I've ever seen, man, in the middleweight division. I mean, it has to be, because I remember even Abel Sanchez used to say, man, that he used to say that he thought Triple G was stronger than Kovalev.
Yeah, he did.
That he was stronger than light heavyweights. So, and Canelo hit him with, man, I mean, everything in the book, bro. And I'm talking about clean flush shots.
But what about if he had put Golovkin in with Evander Holyfield and Samuel Peters?
No, but it's because those are heavyweights, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, those are heavyweights.
No, but I'm saying James Toney, that's what he did.
Yeah, but James Toney also gained like 100 pounds, man. After that.
But James Toney never even gained muscle fat. He gained fat. He was just fat, and he got there, and he was taking heavyweight punches, man. Standing toe to toe with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had a great chin for sure, man. But the weight matters a lot. That's why a lot of guys go in there and they try to, you know, go in there with, depending on who they face, you know, they want to carry that weight so that they could absorb a lot of these shots. And James Toney at that point of his career, man, if you saw how he looked, man, I mean, he looked like Andy Reese and shit.
Yeah,
he was big. He was really, really big.
Yeah, James Toney was tough, man. But there's some.
And he also fought a faded version of Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, but they were at the same age. They were at the same stage, weren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, you remember Evander, man. You remember Evander when he was in his prime. I mean, Evander was
a monster, man.
And you know, I hate to bring this up, but I think he got popped for something too. I think he failed the drug test. Tony failed the drug test.
Yeah. So
I think testosterone.
Thing is, man, how can you go from middleweight to like heavyweight? I just don't. Yeah. There's no way, Mike, you can do that. You know, you could do that like through natural. Like it's just, I don't know.
It can be done, unless you do it, you got to be really God gifted in it. You got to be really God gifted. You know, you have to. You can't be hit much. You know, you have to have top reflexes.
Yeah, Tony had a good defense as well.
Tony had a good defense. And he was
putting PEDs to the side, because obviously he didn't even look like he was, you know, on PEDs. Yeah. But if we put that to the side, there's just some people, man, that as the years, you know, go by, they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Like they don't stop. There's guys that could start their careers at middleweight, and you know, 10 years, 15 years later, they don't grow that much. You know, they stay the same. And James Toney, man, when you look at how he started and where he ended up, I mean, this dude is a guy who gained like 100 pounds. I mean, he just, you know, and I'm talking about, you know, just, you know, physiologically, right? Like, Like whether we're talking about fat or not, it doesn't matter. The point is that there's some people that just can't get that fat. I remember Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran was a lightweight. You look at him when he first started his career, he was a lightweight. He ended up at a super middleweight. He was dropping guys like Iran Barkley at super middleweight. And then they used to say that in the offseason he was like 200 pounds. So there's just some guys that their bodies don't stay the same, man. There's people that just, if they don't take care of themselves, they just continue to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And James Toney just kind of comes off as one of those guys where like he had that fat gene, you know what I mean? Where if he once he got to like to his 30s and later in his career, he had to put like that extra work to stay lean. If not, he would just kind of continue to blow up. So that's how he got to heavyweight, because it wasn't the lean James Toney that we knew. That James Toney didn't even look like James Toney. He looked like someone else. Like physically, he looked like another person.
Yeah, no, this is what I mean. It just proves how tough he was, not going big lean ways, but just putting the stupid fat on and still competing, fighting the heavyweight. Being such a small guy.
No, James was tough, man. He's one of the most talented guys that I've ever seen. His problem was discipline, but in terms of talent, he's one of the most talented guys.
What do you think are the best, James Toney and Canelo?
The best what?
Best James Toney versus Canelo.
Probably James Toney, man. Just because I tend to give the guys who have that size advantage the benefit of the doubt, man. I usually tend to like James Toney is just naturally bigger than Canelo.
So, yeah. Plus, when he going as fast was when he beat Mike McCullum, and that was when he was really at his best, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, James Toney had a great run, man. He had a great run. But again, like he was a guy who just he wasn't a professional through and through. That's really what hurt him in his career. But he was a super talented guy. He had great. He was slick, upper body slickness. Matter of fact, they compare James Toney to they compare Canelo to James Toney. A lot of people compare Canelo to James Toney. They say he's like a smaller version. He's like a smaller version of James Toney, where like they don't have the greatest stamina, but they don't have the they don't have the fleet-footedness, but they have great upper body movement, slickness. They grab great chins. They great offense. They have a similar style.
Yeah, he was smashing it in the 90s before Roy Jones came along.
Canelo. James Day said Canelo is nothing like Mike Tyson. I don't know whether he was responding to somebody in the chat. Somebody said that Canelo's like Mike Tyson. I want to ask you about Mike Tyson, guys. There's a lot of people that seem to think that Mike Tyson wasn't an all-time great. He wasn't that great. He lost all his big fights. Mike, how do you view prime Mike Tyson?
Well, it's funny you asked that question the way you asked it, man, because I remember responding to you the other time where I said I don't think Mike Tyson had a true prime. He never reached his prime because his career derailed completely before he even got there. Before he, when you look at the progression of fighters, I know it's hard to compare to other sports because weight classes matter. You could be in your prime, or you could have a weight class where the weight class could be your best weight class, but you aren't necessarily in your physical or mental prime, for example. So a lot of times we'll hear people say, oh, let's say Floyd Mayweather, for example. A lot of people think Floyd Mayweather's prime is at light heavyweight. I've always disagreed with that, but the reason why they say that is because they feel that was the weight class in which he probably dominated or looked the best. But in my opinion, the best version of Floyd was the one that was closer to 29, 30, 31. Because I feel like that's where he combined his physical prime, physical strength, his man strength, and his experience. He took his game to another level. When you look at sports in general, whether it's soccer, whether it's basketball, nobody's in their prime or in their peak prime at 22, 23, 24. When you're at your peak, you're in your late 20s and early 30s. That's kind of where you hit your peak, and then you kind of start like declining or plateauing around there. You kind of start declining slowly after that, depending on how you take care of yourself. We're seeing that science is helping fighters, a lot of athletes overall nowadays, where their prime is they're able to last a little bit longer compared to back in the day, right? But and then with boxing, we know that there's prime, and then like or age, and then there's ring age, right? There's guys who completely their prime is gone because of the wear and tear and the amount of fights that they had in the past. Back in the days, by the time you hit 30, you were already done. Even before 30, you look at a guy like Eric Morales. His best years were like in his early 20s, mid 20s. Before he even hit 30, he was already done. He was already a shot fighter. So it's a little bit harder to gauge in boxing compared to sports, but just overall in general, the majority of athletes reach their prime in their late 20s, or their peak in their late 20s, early 30s. Mike Tyson, he wasn't even the best at, when did he lose? He lost to Buster Douglas. How old was he? 20 what?
22.
Right, 20 exactly. 20, 23, 24, around there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, think about everything he still had in his career to learn, man, to develop, not just in terms of experience, but just skill development. He wasn't a finished product at all, man. He wasn't a finished product at all. He could have added a lot more things to his arsenal, a lot, whether it was defense, whether it was, offense, whether it was, tactical stuff, strategic stuff, experience, just being in there, being in the ring with better opposition. Because that's the knock on him too, is that he became undisputed at a very young age, but who did he beat, right? So a lot of that's the argument against him, right? It's like, oh, he's not a Hall of Famer because look, he achieved this, but he didn't beat the top guys. He lost to the top guys, and then his career ended early. So if you want to make that argument from that perspective, then I can see why people might think that he's not a Hall of Famer or anything like that. But in my opinion, his greatness goes beyond just what he achieved in the ring. His status and what he brought to boxing, and I remember the Nintendo games and just the hype, the money he generated. I think all that there's certain fighters that have that it factor, and I feel like he had that. So he's definitely one of the greatest for sure.
Yeah, you can make an argument that Lennox Lewis was a greater fighter than Mike Tyson. But Lennox Lewis didn't have that it factor. Mike Tyson was more globally recognized than Lennox Lewis. He was more recognized worldwide as a heavyweight champion rather than Lennox was. Even though Lennox was great, but it felt like Mike had even Evander beat him. But it just felt like Mike Tyson had that global crossover appeal that no one really had. Let's be honest. No one. Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis were great fighters. Don't get me wrong. But they didn't have the appeal that Mike Tyson had, guys. They didn't.
Mike was huge. Mike was huge, man. Huge in the ring, and
he carried boxing. Tyson carried boxing.
He did. I'd agree. Yeah, he did. He was a superstar. Like, I would go as far as saying, Mike, you're in America, so you could probably answer this question better. I would go as far as saying after Ali, Mike Tyson was the most famous boxer ever.
Yes. Matter of fact, I would even say this. I've said this in the past too. If he was in this era, or like let's say the Floyd era, knowing how much Floyd generated, he would have made double that. Insane amount of money. Because what he made in the 90s is crazy, the amount of money he made. Crazy. So imagine what he would be making now. This dude would have been a billionaire.
Yeah. He said, Mike, I don't know if you know this. He said, one minute, Ahmed, you can go after. Mike Tyson said, like, he was broke and he had no money, and then like 2 years later he had 300 million in his bank account.
Right.
That's the kind of level that we were talking about. Mike Tyson was on another level. Ahmed, what were you going to say?
I was exactly going to say the same thing. By the time he had faced Buster Douglas, 300 million by that time. It was immense.
Crazy money, man. Crazy money. This guy was a global superstar, man. People talk about him everywhere, all over the world. People started naming their dogs Tyson and everything after him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you talk about fight in general on the street or at work or anywhere, his name always pops up. It always pops up.
So, in terms of Mike Tyson against against younger heavyweights of today, Mike, how would you view him? Like, do you think he would beat every heavyweight today?
I don't know, man. That's hard to say, because I think another thing that we need to consider is that I don't know if it's just me, man, but heavyweights just seem that are way bigger nowadays. I mean, they're fucking huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about guys that are like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". You know, I mean, the pounds, the pounds that they would have, because Mike is not even 6 feet tall, bro. He's barely 6 feet tall.
Yeah, he's like 5'9".
So, right. So that was part of his that was the off factor of Mike Tyson.
He did be a
that people smaller, stocky, and he was body out.
He did be a 6'2", 6
what
footer. 6'2", 6. He be up to that height.
See, but that kind of goes back to what I was saying, man. Like, I feel that if we would have saw progression in terms of his skills, we would have seen a Mike Tyson, a more advanced Mike Tyson, because even though he was smaller, he had certain advantages over bigger guys. He was super quick, for example. He had great upper body movement. He had a lot of strength. He had power, so maybe if he developed his skills, on to a greater, level, we would have saw something we've never seen. Something completely different, something unique, a guy of that stature beating bigger guys with a style that no one had ever seen, but we never got to see it because, like I said, he didn't even hit his prime.
It got cut short.
Yeah, big time.
But he did achieve everything he wanted to achieve. Undisputed champion, a few defenses.
Yeah, great fighter, man. I think his aura was something else. He had some aura. Let's feel real entertainment is in the house. What's going on, bro? You there? Let's real? No, he's having difficulties. Okay, so I was gonna ask about the I forgot what's going on with Teofimo, man. What's going on with Teofimo and Ryan? And there's talk about Ryan fighting Jojo Diaz, and there's Teofimo's obviously going to fight Kambosos. Mike, what's going on with those guys, man, at lightweight? It seems all quiet there.
I think that fight is going to be signed soon. The Jojo and Ryan Garcia. I think that was obvious that's going to happen because they're both Golden Boy. So that's going to happen for sure. As far as Teofimo, I don't know. Teofimo was going through some business issues with in his last fight. I guess he already signed it. So I guess that's going to be this is going to be his last fight of the year. And then I don't know. We'll see what happens next year. But I think Teofimo's done for this year.
Yeah. Taking up what?
A little bit. Do you know much about betting odds, sports betting odds?
I don't bet, man. I don't bet, so I don't have a clue about that.
I don't bet either, Ahmed, man. You shouldn't be betting, Ahmed.
No, I know that, but it just comes up, and it just came up on boxing screen.
It comes up, does it?
I wanted to say to you that Crawford versus Porter. There's odds of Crawford to stop or KO Sean Porter 7-4. What do you think of them odds? 7-4. Do you know what that is? almost like a 2-1 shot.
Imran, get your money out, Imran.
I don't bet. I don't bet, man. I don't bet. But yeah, man, and boxing is one of those sports where I don't think betting. I think betting is crazy because it's too unpredictable, man. You just can't predict. You just can't predict, to be honest, in boxing.
Do you think he's capable of stopping Porter? What do you think?
Crawford?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Ash, what do you think? Mike, what do you think?
What's that?
Is Crawford gonna stop? Is Porter gonna stop? Is Crawford still gonna stop that dude?
Crawford gonna stop Porter.
Yo, I'm kind of shell shocked after Let's Be Real Entertainment came on. I'm kind of, my head's all over the place. That's why
I changed the topic. That's why I changed the topic to betting.
Yeah, that was wild, man. That was wild. But yeah,
I bet or something.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Ash? Crawford, Porter? Will Porter stop him?
No.
Porter stopped Crawford.
No,
Crawford stops Porter.
Yeah, sorry, Crawford stops Porter.
Oh.
Oh.
Go on, Mike.
I'm gonna say no. I don't know what Ash thinks.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'll agree with Mike. I don't think he will.
I'm gonna say Porter's going to be stopped, but then, guys, I don't want any excuses. I don't want any excuses when Crawford knocks Sean Porter senseless.
Nah, I can't see him knocking him senseless, man.
Calm down, Ahmed. Calm down.
Seriously.
Listen,
Imran,
no one's ever done that to Sean Porter.
Imran is shell shocked right now. He's taking a shower, man, like thinking it's black magic, man. He's trying to clean himself right now.
Yeah, that was next level, man. It was just that the way he came, the way Let's Be Real Entertainment came out, and he just kind of said that with so much confidence, like it was like, you know, I was just like, wow. I was just like almost, yeah, I was kind of crazy, man. That was, yeah.
It was like CNN breaking news, man. I thought he was gonna tell us about something happening, like, hey, there's an earthquake happening in this.
No, but you know what? Some people have they believe something. They believe something. They have something, like, I don't know. Some people have, like, you know, what we think is absurd, but they think is real. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just find it funny, man. I find it funny the way he came on and he was so confident about what he was saying.
I like the saying from Tony Bellew. He says, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them.
Yeah. Everyone's got I still don't think people should make wild accusations or wild.
I don't know. What did he say, man? I think I missed it.
No, to be honest, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really want to go under it. It just sounded a bit wild, to be honest. But
I didn't see it.
Yeah. But yeah, Mike. So you don't think? I mean, Ahmed. I don't see Crawford knocking Porter out. I actually see Crawford. I think he might stop him, but not senseless.
It's same thing though, isn't it? No, it's same thing though, and it's stopping and KO TKO comes under the same bracket, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the only way. That's the only way I see it happening too. Like I see Crawford landing like something, an accurate punch where he kind of wobbles. Porter maybe potentially drops him. Porter gets back up. Crawford goes for the finish, starts, you know, landing punches, and then the ref comes in and stops the fight. That's the type of stoppage that I could potentially see, but I don't know. I'm not gonna give. I haven't seen Porter. I've never seen Porter stop, man. So I'm gonna go with no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't.
If Crawford stops that, and in a manner where you say, wow, Spence couldn't do anything close to what Crawford did. Would you put Crawford pound for pound number one?
Nah.
No, but I wouldn't. But I would definitely see Crawford in a different way though, because I would definitely put him. See, because to me, it's not about pound for pound. Pound for pound lists to me, man, are a joke in a lot of ways. I don't even go based on pound for pound lists because they change all the time. They're too subjective. I only care about the way I view fighters and how I, the way I rate them. And for me, it's not even about a pound for pound list. I want Crawford. If Crawford does something like that, then I'm going to look at Crawford in a different way, where I'm going to say, you know what, man, this guy's even better than I thought. So to me, that means more than putting him in whatever pound for pound is, because that's the only thing that I question about Crawford. I've seen him. I know he's really, really, really good. I know that he's achieved a lot of good things, but I haven't seen him face top competition, or competition on that level. And I'm not saying Porter is the best welterweight, but he's probably the best guy he's faced in his career. So unless you want to talk about Gamboa, but again, Gamboa moved up to his weight class. He was way smaller. He's fighting a guy that's his size, or maybe he's even smaller than Porter. So and this is his third weight class, right? No, third or fourth weight class. No, it's his third weight class.
Third weight class.
Right. So now, he's reaching a little bit here, right? So he's fighting some big boys now. So if he's able to do that, then that means his power is real, or it's even more real than what people thought. And that means his overall skill set, his overall greatness is probably, it just puts a stamp on it. You know what I mean? It kind of certifies it a little bit more. But then after that, you're still going to want to see more, because you still want to see him with the best guys. You still want to see him with a Keith Thurman or an Errol Spence. So, but that would be a very good win, and something that would impress me for sure, especially if he stops Porter.
Yeah, would they want to get in the ring with Crawford if he did the same thing what he did to Kell Brook and Amir Khan and Jeff Owen?
Well, I think Spence will. I don't know about Thurman, but I think Spence will.
I kind of doubt it, man. I mean, Spence is already slowly starting to back away.
Why do you say that?
That's my perception.
Because of the eye, or what do you mean?
No, just generally before that. I just over the last 2-3 years, I just feel that rivalry as Crawford's been coming on strong in the welterweight division. Spence is
but he's been fighting the welterweights that were past their best, and has-beens, and he's been fighting lower tier.
Yeah. The way he's been dealing with them. And the way I expect him to deal with Porter.
Yeah, if he beats Porter, then you got to claim that this guy is something else. Especially if he beats him in emphatic fashion, then I think you have to give Crawford massive.
Yeah, but I don't think Spence was impressed at all by any of that.
No,
Ahmed, you need to put a bit of respect on Kell Brook and Amir Khan's names. Do you think what Terence Crawford did?
I'm the one that's putting respect on the names. I'm the one that's putting respect on the names.
Hold on.
It's you guys that say they're the pasty and this.
Hold on. No. Let me finish. What I'm trying to say is, Terence Crawford, the way he beat Amir Khan, he would never have done that to Amir Khan in his prime. The way he won.
How can you say never?
No way. Amir Khan had no legs in that fight against Terence Crawford. Amir Khan was a shadow of himself against Terence Crawford. And going back to Kell Brook, Kell Brook was a shadow of himself as well. Kell Brook, you think Terence Crawford would have done that, what he did to him, that Errol Spence Kell Brook? I don't think so. So you can't count them fights. And then if you go back to what else has he done? He's done nothing. He's shouting at, I want to be 60-40, I don't need this person. 1 week he needs them, 1 week he doesn't. We spoke about this a few weeks ago. He needs to go and fight some people. He needs to go leave Omaha for once in his life and go fight someone and make a fan base before he can even try and say he's 50-50. So, no one's ducking him. He hasn't done enough himself. He's come up to welterweight. Who's he for? Jeff Owen and who else? Jeff Horn, Amir Khan, Kell Brook.
He stopped Jeff Horn.
A guy,
Velasquez.
A 140 Benavidez with one leg. Velasquez was unknown, until he fought him. No one knew Velasquez. Well, I didn't know he was, and he's nothing special either. And then, who else has he fought? No one.
Benavidez.
Benavidez, I already said to him, man. He's 140, isn't he? He's like he had one leg. So you can't. End of the day, he's done nothing. Yes, he's a good fighter, but you can only start bigging him up when he does it against great fighters and fighters that are on his level, so to say. So if he went in there with the, he does the Sean Porter and then goes and beats Garcia and Keith Thurman and these guys, and then you can say, he's beat some top champions at the weight.
If he stops Sean Porter in 6-7 rounds, I know you guys you might come up with another excuse.
Listen, that ain't happening. You got it on here live. You heard it from my mouth. He is not stopping Sean Porter.
I'm telling you that I will not rate Terence Crawford again if he goes the distance with Porter.
Wow. What?
That's how much I rate Crawford. I will not rate Terence because this is the pedestal that I know that he's at.
By fighting guys like who are named
Sean Porter and dealing with him.
He hasn't fought Sean Porter yet. So you put him on a high pedestal. No, let me say something. You put him on a high pedestal, and he hasn't fought no one really.
You can't say no one. He's so good. He's so good fighters. You're not putting respect on Amir Khan and Kell Brook yourself.
No, if they're not the fighters they were. You can't use that as a name and say, "Oh, I beat Amir Khan." Oh, which Amir Khan do you fight? Oh, 32-year-old Amir Khan and didn't have no legs. You beat Amir Khan. Yeah, you got him on your record. But if you want to big him up like that, Ahmed, then you've got to basically talk the facts that you fought an old Amir Khan, a finished Amir Khan, and a finished Kell Brook that had no fight in him. Took one punch and didn't want no more.
When he fought Kell Brook, could Kell Brook not go the distance with a Keith Thurman or a Sean Porter? Or that Kell Brook that he fought?
That Kell Brook, I don't know about Keith Thurman because he's been at the ring, but Sean Porter would definitely beat him. He was a 50-55 when he first won.
Yeah, but it would go more or less the distance, isn't it? More or less.
Well, Sean Porter's not known for a knockout artist, is he? And no, is Terence Crawford. So and Sean Porter hits decent enough as well. So if you're saying that he ain't, what you telling me? Terence Crawford's got more power than Sean Porter, who's fought always at a heavier weight and always fought at 147, who's fighting Usyk at Olympics at 160 something, and you're telling me he's got more power.
Yeah, knockout power. Yeah, knockout power. I'd say because he's proven.
Like you said, isn't it? Like I said, we'll soon find out. When is it? November? Is it November?
November 20th of November.
Yeah, the question was asked. What you're saying is if he doesn't knock him out, you're not gonna rate him. Who was actually knocked him out? So you're putting him
even though nobody's knocked him out.
Fair enough. You rate him really highly, then, don't you? Yeah, man, you agree with that? Then you rate him that highly as well.
Who? What? Crawford?
Is he gonna stop Porter?
I think he might stop Porter. He could stop Porter, but I don't. I just think Crawford needs to win in emphatic fashion. He just needs to win well,
It's just obviously with Sean Porter, when he gets to these fights, he loses the world thing. And people think he's now that, but really and truly, he's getting better every fight. If you look at it, he gets better. Yeah. He's getting better, so he could be a better version of himself than the last fight. And you got to remember, he doesn't fight guys like Danny Garcia would go fight Herrera or someone and some other guy, and he doesn't do that. He fights top opposition, and even goes to the wire with them. So he can't. Ahmed can't turn around and say, "Oh, if Crawford doesn't knock him out, I don't rate him that highly anymore." That don't make sense. I understand if the guy's he wobbled before and he's been hurt a lot, and you can say, "Okay, no one's knocked him out, so he's got to knock him out if he's that good." But no one's really hurt him. Maybe put him on his back foot like Errol Spence did or whatever. He got back up and he wasn't hurt. So you telling me he's got more power than Errol Spence?
He's just got a way of knowing how to systematically break someone down, and he's effective punches where and making people making them pay. He's got that ability, and the more he hits Porter on the chin, the more I think he's going to wear him down.
Fair enough. It's interesting. Interesting. You call it perspective from your side, isn't it? But I don't see that happening.
Guys, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. I'm absolutely exhausted.
Are you tired, bro?
Yeah, I'm tired, man. Tired, very tired.
No worries, man.
Yeah. Ash, Ahmed, man, we'll do it again, man. We'll do it again. We'll chop it up again. On Friday or something. We'll do it again. There's big fights coming out. Remember, I'm gonna do a live now because obviously Joshua and Usyk are fighting. So
are you gonna do it while the fight's on, or just before or something?
Okay.
Are you gonna do the live on the day, or are you doing it the day before?
Yeah. I'll do it on the. I'll do it. Let's see if we do it a live watch along, or we can do it after the fight. Whatever.
Okay, yeah, because it's in the UK anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be a good time for us anyway. But yeah,
it'll be nice if you could do 2 lives, one on Saturday and one after the fight, like on Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Let's see, man. Let's see. But yeah, man, guys. Guys, man, Ash, Ahmed, Mike, everyone that joined the live stream, I appreciate it, man. It was great. It was great, man. It was great having you guys on. Everyone in the chat, I appreciate it, man.
Yo, big up Ahmed and his man and Crawford.
Yeah.
Look forward to these big fights.
Make sure you got the money.
Peace out to guys in the chat as well, man. Peace out to everyone in the chat.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Just James did just before I go. Yeah, GG is fighting Murata. I'll hopefully do a video about that soon. But yeah, take care, man. Ash, Ahmed, take care, man, and take care everyone in the chat. Peace out to SP Martinez. I hope you're well. H, thanks for being in. Let's Be Real Entertainment, thanks for being in. Rob F, thank you, brother, for being in. Carlos, thank you. Miguel, Campos, everybody that came in. Take care, man, and I'll see you guys later.